This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Area 51. This is another huge thing in the conspiracy movement. A lot of people are actually unaware of what occurred at Area 51.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear this. Tell me, a call for an uprising. What happened at Area 51?
At Area 51 involving Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, L. Hubbard, which occurred in that area where they did a ritual known as the Babalon workings.
All these people did a ritual called the Babalon markings? The fuck is that? What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Today we're going to be looking at this a call for an uprising video where he talks about what he thinks happened at Area 51 and why everybody that wants to storm Area 51 is doing it for the wrong reasons, or they're stupid, or actually I think he says that it's like a censorship psyop thing. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out today.
Which are magic ceremonies, cultic ceremonies, disgusting, disturbing. Obviously, we see them honoring Jack Parsons now with the show Strange Angel, as well as Crowley, and, of course, Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard.
First of all, I don't know the Strange Angel, TV show that he's talking about, but regardless of that, I don't think that they actually went to Area 51, performed this magic seance, or whatever the fuck you think happened, and now the media is glorifying them, I guess because of their demonic connections? I don't know. I do know you believe in demons, not aliens, but demons that infest people, so this is going to be quite interesting, which I have to say, your whole idea about demons infesting people is a lot like L. Ron Hubbard's idea about Thetans infesting your body. So at least you have that in common with L. Ron Hubbard.
And as everybody knows, Area 51's been featured in Independence Day, X-Files, all these TV shows and movies have constantly talked about Area 51 as if there's aliens being hidden there. When in reality, aliens aren't real. Demonic possession is real. Demons are real.
You see? Demons are real. Demons are about as real as God is, okay? Because God isn't real for all intents and purposes here. We can't detect him. We don't know that he's real. It's just like demons. We can't detect them. We don't know that they're real. All we have is a bunch of half-cocked people claiming that they are real and claiming that they've been demonically possessed. But then you have a call for an uprising here that gives us the alien-demon connection.
Okay, aliens flying here from Uranus is not happening, although I'm sure there's plenty of people that wish that they were.
I mean, there's probably aliens flying out of Uranus.
And now the mainstream media has picked up on this, which is really quite disturbing as far as what the message is behind it, because this could just be another massive type of censorship. Because apparently 500,000 people plus are calling to raid Area 51.
So yes, there is a petition online or a group or an event on Facebook where a lot of people have signed up to storm Area 51. Official disclaimer here, do not storm Area 51. They will kill your ass, okay? They have the legal ability to kill you right there if you start to try to make an advance at the fence or anything like that. So don't go there and do this stupid fucking thing. But also I like how he's now trying to paint it as a censorship tactic? I guess he considers it censorship because the mainstream media is picking it up and it's only meant to discredit conspiracy theorists that believe in the demonic seance performed by Crowley, Parsons, and L. Ron Hubbard at the Area 51 installation where the Babalon who the fuck ever came through the portal and is now going to fuck up our world in some way. I guess they're trying to censor that particular crazy fucking idea.
And this will just be another way, right, where they can go, okay, conspiracy, we have to censor what these people are talking about. Look how dangerous they are. They 500,000 people. Now, I don't know how many people are going to go, but when it gets gaslit like this from the mainstream media, you've got to just sit there and be like, okay, there's an agenda behind it.
You know, I don't think that he knows what gaslighting actually means, because I feel like he thinks that gaslit or gaslighting means that you basically pour gasoline on an issue and you light it on fire and it's like trending everywhere, I guess. Maybe that's how he's using it. And I mean, that's not what gaslighting means, but I feel like that's what he's trying to say that it means here. Gaslighting is when you try to manipulate somebody into thinking that something else happened rather than what they thought happened. And so I don't think that he understands that this is the actual definition of the word.
Right? And what's the agenda that they're constantly using as far as conspiracies go? Censoring it, censoring speech, censoring talking about this stuff, because people are getting all riled up by these crazy conspiracy people on the internet.
Well, yeah, people do get riled up by your bullshit, but at the same time, I don't see how it's censoring you at all. Like, you're still able to, post this bullshit on YouTube, you're able to post this bullshit on Facebook, but I'm guessing that you see it as, oh, these people are pushing these weird, crazy fucking ideas, and therefore it must be trying to censor the real story that is a demonic seance by Parsons, Crowley, and L. Ron Hubbard. What the? Okay, so as with most conspiracies, there's a nugget of truth that they draw upon and then create this larger conspiracy around it. So I do want to add in here the actual truth of what he's talking about. So basically, Jack Parsons was this rocket engineer in the early 30s and 40s. He was an occultist. He literally had a commune that he had set up, and it was very cult-like in what he, believed in, which would have included blood sacrifices and shit like that, but of animals and stuff, in the Old Testament kind of deal. But what a call for an uprising is actually talking about here is this Babalon working ritual. Now, the reason why he was doing this ritual is because his former lover or girlfriend or something like that started fucking L. Ron Hubbard and preferred to fuck L. Ron Hubbard rather than Jack Parsons. I thought that it was ridiculous that L. Ron Hubbard actually associated with this guy and participated in these occult activities. I totally fess up to thinking that was a ridiculous notion, but apparently L. Ron Hubbard actually lived at the compound that Jack Parsons had set up. Jack Parsons, he was intensely jealous of his former lover and L. Ron Hubbard. So he decided to perform a ritual, which was actually a series of rituals, where he would call forth this Babalon woman entity person, and would be his new lover or something like that, would be the embodiment of this goddess or whatever, and he was gonna have her for a lover anyways. So they did these rituals. Now, what this ritual consisted of was Jack Parsons jerking off on some stone tablets while L. Ron Hubbard acted as a scribe and searched the astral or mystical plane for any kind of, other entities or something like that. What you get down to is L. Ron Hubbard's just basically watching Jack Parsons jack off on some stones. And so they did several of these, which it concluded in the Mojave Desert. The reason why this is important is because the Area 51 base, or what's known as Homie Airport, or the ranch, is a Paradise Ranch or whatever. They get a lot of different names for it, but that's where it is sort of in. It's in the Mojave Desert on this dry lake bed. But the important fact here is that Area 51, or at least the base there, whatever they want to call it, it wasn't set up until about 1955. The rituals that Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard did were in 1945, and concluding in 1946. So there was about 9 to 10 years of space between these two things. And Area 51 was set up for the explicit development of the U-2 plane from Lockheed. And so what they needed was this dry lake bed that was a natural kind of airport landing thing, a natural runway. And so they set up the base out there to develop this plane in secret because they couldn't let anybody know about it because they just didn't want people to know about it. So that is kind of the full story surrounding Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, and the masturbating on stones rituals that they did. Obviously, the masturbating on stones is not going to bring forth any kind of Babalon woman, and this Babalon woman doesn't exist or whatever the fuck. But Jack Parsons did think that the Babalon woman was embodied by this woman that appeared at his mansion or his commune. And so he decided to marry her and try to do some sex magic shit with her. I thought all of this was very ridiculous at first, but when I actually did the research on it, apparently Jack Parsons was kind of fucking crazy. That's what I mean by they take a nugget of truth and they extrapolate it in ridiculous ways. Because the nugget of truth here is that Jack Parsons was an occultist that did all of this, like, occult shit, had the blood sacrifices and everything like that, but they happened at his commune with other people that were consensually in the commune. They take that little bit of nugget of truth and then they expand it to being Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, and Crowley, who wasn't even like part of the rituals or part of any of this other than the fact that they looked up to Crowley and they were using, I think, Crowley's belief system or something like that. So they take all of that and they say, oh no, this is what actually happened at Area 51, is this whole blood magic satanistic ritual to call forth the Babalon woman. You see how they take these nuggets of truth and they just expand it into ridiculousness.
But I'm sure some people will show up, and I don't really know what they think they're going to do, because there's going to be armed guards and all that, if they actually think they're going to, or if this is just a complete psyop where they just want to use it to say that, you know, again, that we're all of us online who are talking about this stuff, talking about Satanists, Pizzagate, are causing people to go, to arm themselves and go after people because we're putting these crazy delusional thoughts in their heads.
Oh, yes, a call for an uprising. The original people that set up this, I'm guessing it's a troll Facebook event. I really hope that you guys aren't actually going out there to storm Area 51. Please don't do that. That would be incredibly stupid. But if it is a troll kind of event type of thing, then I seriously doubt that they did it just to cover up the conspiracy nutters on YouTube and Facebook and social media in general. This is not a psyop, as you claim it to be. It's not a psyop. It's not trying to censor you. It's not trying to drown out your voices.
According to the event's organizers, who otherwise seem interested mainly in internet memes and video games, right? So they even take a shot, right? Oh, conspiracy theorist people are interested in video games and memes.
No, they were just talking about the organizers of that troll event. Victimhood much? I really feel like you're trying just to play the victim here, even though this event, the whole Area 51 thing, has literally nothing to do with you or other conspiracy theorists.
Right? Like, we're not smart intellectual people. We're just like sitting around our mom's basement, right? The stereotype they always give for conspiracy theorists.
I mean, do you consider yourself intelligent? You literally believe in demons that possess us and have made us think that aliens are real. Some people may make us think that aliens are real, by which people do seances to bring fucking Babalon bitches here. And you think you're intelligent?
It said the raid will require the invaders to run faster than their bullets, but it'll be worth it to see them aliens.
Okay, and you see, it's that kind of rhetoric that makes me think that it's just a troll event. Like, these guys are just making fun of the entire situation. Obviously, this was just a joke that was put on, and so the whole Area 51 storming event thing, I don't think is actually going to happen. And if you are thinking this is real, do not go to it. Do not storm the base.
All right, well, they wouldn't think that there are aliens there if there wasn't predictive programming done over and over telling people that there's aliens being locked up at Area 51, like in Independence Day and in, X-Files and all these mainstream shows. Nobody would think that if you weren't telling them, which clearly means that you're working people because you wouldn't tell us that that was going on there.
I mean, you realize that the whole aliens at Area 51 thing was not some kind of invention by the mainstream media or the US government. Like, conspiracy theorists in the 40s and 50s, they eventually came up with the whole Roswell and Area 51 connection and everything like that. Like, these were independent conspiracy theorists that actually came up with these theories. This is not some kind of psyop or whatever. The connection between Area 51 and UFOs and aliens and all of that reaches all the way back to the 50s, back when the Roswell crash happened and all that kind of shit. So there's a lot of resources out there that kind of explain why why like people associate it with like associate UFOs with Area 51. And there are some experimental programs out there that seem to have prompted the idea that UFOs were flying over in that area and whatnot, further, connecting Area 51 to the UFO sightings and everything. So you have to understand that these are independent things that have happened that are not at all connected with your particular conspiracy theory.
Just like you wouldn't tell us about all the satanic rituals involving children. You just have to, dismiss it and say, oh, people like Jeffrey Epstein, they're just trafficking kids for money. There's nothing satanic or nothing with cannibalism or any of that involved.
Honestly, I still can't believe that you're pushing the whole Pizzagate sort of ritual type shit. There's literally no evidence for any of this. You just have pure speculation, and it's only actually caused harm to happen to people that believe you. Like that one fuck that, took his rifle to that pizzeria place because he thought that the place was housing children to sell to, I don't know, high-level Democrats or something. But the fact is that your crazy-ass conspiracy theories do, in fact, harm people because they lead people away from the truth. If you have any kind of worldview that doesn't actually map to the reality that we live in, it's a dangerous thing to promote.
It says Area 51's officially an outpost of Edwards Air Force Base in California. The site was first used for development and testing of the U-2 spy plane in the 1950s. Nobody cares.
Oh, so you know the connection. You know that they developed experimental like aircraft and everything out there. And I'm guessing that you also know that that is the reason why the UFO sightings are associated with Area 51 and them, having like alien technology at the place. And it has literally no connection to your L. Ron Hubbard seance with the Babalon Queen or whatever.
Some people think that the secret facility was used to fake the Apollo moon landings. I don't have any real doubts about that either, although I don't know if that was the direct location, like I said earlier.
Oh, great. So you deny the moon landings, too. Holy fucking fan-goddamn-tastic.
It is believed, and I cannot confirm that, but I can confirm that this ritual occurred, the Babalon working ritual with, like I said, with Parsons and Crowley. That is the area, it is in that area that ritual was done, and they brought over, an incarnation of what they call the divine feminine called Babalon. Now, that's what they claim, right? And this is, Crowley describes this in his book, Moonchild. So I believe that that's in that area. Some people don't believe that it's there. That's fine. It's not worth a debate or an argument because we can't really prove it.
Whoa. You said that you know for a fact with evidence and shit that it actually happened, but now you're saying that you can't prove it? Could we please keep our story straight here?
But I think that they opened a portal there through this disgusting, disturbing ritual, which clearly had to involve children and blood sacrifice.
You see, here, I don't know why it must require child blood sacrifices for these workings. It was literally Jack Parsons jerking off on some stones while L. Ron Hubbard watched. I mean, that was it. And they did it in the desert at one point, and that's it. There's no reason to think child blood magic was done at Area 51 on this super secure Air Force base that didn't even exist in 1946. You had to wait 10 years, 9 or 10 years in order for the base to even be there. And even then, it was just like some sheds and a runway. I have no idea why you fucks think that it clearly needs children sacrifices and everything like that in order to open a portal to Babalon Bitch's front step. Like, is children's blood just more magical? Like, is that it?
And I think they've had that whole area concealed because they're able to communicate with the other side there. That's what I believe personally. That's why it's so important to them, and that's why it's blocked off.
Other side of what? Are you talking about the Upside Down from Stranger Things? Oh, let me guess, that's just more predictive programming, because in like 10 years, they're actually going to open up a dimensional portal to another world, and we're going to rob it of resources and shit. I'm guessing that's what he probably thinks, that is predictive programming. I mean, come on. He's so predictable in coming up with his predictive programming bullshit.
But it has nothing to do with aliens. They tell you it has to do with aliens because why? Because they want to deflect, and they want to make sure that people don't get suspicious as to why this area is blocked off, and then they, of course, play it into their bogus narrative of alien invasions and all that stuff, which they always are doing.
From what I can tell, everything that you've read off in this video, which I haven't put it all in here. If you want to go and watch it, you can. I've got his video link down in the description. But I mean, everything that you've read off here in this video has them only denying the idea that UFOs and aliens exist at Area 51. That's all they're doing. So I don't know who you think is pushing this narrative. I'm guessing it's mainstream media or something like that, or maybe it's the mysterious they, which is like the Illuminati or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm so interested for you to tell me.
And here's just a little take from the Babalon ritual. They said when Parsons declared that the first of the series of rituals was complete and successful, he almost immediately met Marjorie Cameron in his home and regarded her as the element that he and Hubbard had called through the ritual. Soon as Parsons began the next stage of the series, an attempt to conceive a child through sex magic workings. Although no child was conceived, this did not affect the result of the ritual. Parsons and Cameron, who Parsons now regarded as the Scarlet Woman Babalon, called forth by the ritual, soon married. The rituals performed drew largely upon rituals and sex magic described in Aleister Crowley's books.
So initially, I was very skeptical of this whole L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons things, like I said before. But the important part of this entire ridiculousness is that Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, and Crowley did not, do these things on Area 51. A call for an uprising is taking little nuggets of truth and expanding it out into being this weird conspiracy that involves Area 51. And saying that that is the real thing that happened while the UFOs are ridiculous. I mean, honestly, I still find the Babalon working ritual thingy to be ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that a call for an uprising thinks that this ritual could call forth demons from another universe or another parallel dimension or something like that. All of that shit is still ridiculous. And it's still ridiculous that fucking L. Ron Hubbard watched Jack Parsons jerk off on some stones.
Keep an eye on this story because this does affect people like me and people like you.
No, it literally does not concern anybody. I do want to say thank you, heathens, for joining us today. I really appreciate you guys coming by. If you want to watch his original video, please go down to the description right now, click his link, watch it, and just, I don't know, fucking laugh. Don't berate him in the comments or anything like that, but just, it's just so hilarious. I love these kinds of conspiracy videos because they're so fucking outlandish. It's hilarious. If you guys will, please go down below, leave me a comment what you thought about this crazy ass shit. I would love to hear what you think. While you're down there, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you like crazy ass conspiracy theories. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice, and I will see you heathens later.